I can remember getting a telephone call that David Peckinpaugh had requested an opportunity to talk to me about a job. And I thought to myself, let me see, David is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the convention side of the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas. And he's calling me in Cleveland, Ohio, asking about a job opportunity.
I feel like I've known him forever. We worked together at Hyatt Hotels about 115 years ago. And then he moved on to a bunch of different roles. We stayed in touch during that entire time and ended up at Merit's. And it was about the time that I was retiring. So he was a confidant. I reached out to him and said, I'm thinking about retiring. I'm really interested in board work. And he said, why don't you come on my board? And so we've stayed together ever since.
I first met David when he was at Confron, and it seems like along his career and mine, we're intertwined at many places, whether it's with CVBs, whether it's Merit's, whether it's in the exhibition industry. Truly one of the great people in our industry.
I think the EIC has been instrumental in raising the bar and the standards and the recognition for our professionals. You know, for me, I was primarily in the sales and marketing space and then leadership, so I was not an active meeting professional per se. But I think immediately, if nothing else, having CMP behind your name gets a lot of questions asked, and like, what is that? And tell me about it. So, you know, I think a lot of us have that challenge where even your family doesn't really understand what you do. And I think when you get to describe what a CMP is, I think it adds credibility and establishes sort of the baseline of the professionalism of what we're all about.
If I had to use just a few words to describe David, he is kind, generous, he's a man of integrity, a man of action, but most importantly, he's just darn right funny.
From his initial entry into the business events sector, Dave Peckinpaugh has distinguished himself time and time again with outstanding accomplishments across a spectrum of industry organizations. From Confron Global Services to the San Diego Tourism Authority to Helms Briscoe to his current position of president at Merit's Global Events.
He is a brilliant leader. He's got this uncanny sense of how to work with people who have entirely divergent points of view, and yet get them to trust him and work together. And he is an incredible, fearless change maker.
Integrity comes to mind first and foremost. He means what he says and he does what he says, and there's a lot to be said for that. He is kind, always wants to make sure that everybody's okay, and I think that's a really admirable quality. That said, he's also very curious and interesting when it comes to different ideas and different things. And when you can get him to unwind and let his hair down, he's just plain fun.
If I had to describe David in a few words, I would say he's the everything man. He's got such a deep background, whether it's in third-party business, meetings and conventions, events, convention bureaus, incentives. He knows it all.
From the time that David first started with Confron as Vice President of Sales and Marketing, he spent an incredible amount of time focused on dealing with industry issues, being on countless industry committees, boards of directors, sitting in as a part of think tanks.
So 1984, I guess you'd probably say that not too loudly, quite a while ago, I had moved back. I went to Colorado College in Colorado Springs and had moved back living with a buddy after taking a couple years of, I think they call it gap time nowadays. I was a sail bum and a ski bum for 2 years. I put my college education to good use and heard about an opportunity at the Broadmoor Hotel. And it was in sales, and of course I thought, are you selling the hotel? Or had no idea what it was all about. And a gentleman by the name of Chuck McGill took a flyer on a skinny little kid with no background in the industry for the first outside sales position at the Broadmoor Hotel and Resort, which is still the longest running 5-star resort in the world. So what an incredible opportunity for me. And I sort of, like I've always said, I fell into the industry and have never left.
Certainly one of the best hires that we've ever had.
He is that guy who you can always count on, and there never seems to be a way for him to run out of time.
His contributions have helped elevate these organizations, enabling them to expand into different markets and exceed all sales goals.
You know, when I think about contributions that David's made, I think he is like the Uber connector of our industry. You know, if you need to know somebody, you can just call David and he will dial you in to make an introduction. I think that the one significant thing that he does for the industry is really through the people. And I think our industry has so many great kind of dimensions to it, but the people, I think, is by far the most important aspect. And David makes this contribution by caring about people and following people and keeping in touch with people. And most importantly, I think he is the biggest supporter of individuals that I've ever seen.
He engenders trust, he can bring people together, and he is a fearless change maker.
It's interesting getting this award because I feel like I'm still just starting and not some old dog being put out to pasture. And I think that's important, right? It's really nice to get that recognition. Hopefully I still have a lot to give. And I think in looking back in my career so far, I would hope that the biggest impact I've had is on people. The individuals I've been able to collaborate with, work for, clients I've been able to serve, partners I've been able to work alongside with. I think that is the most important legacy anyone can leave, is the impact on person-to-person relationships. That is really the foundation of our industry. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing today, I thought long and hard about this. I would either be sailing, somehow make sailing part of my life, or skiing, but probably couldn't earn a living necessarily at either, so I would probably be an attorney. Dad, brother-in-law, all attorneys. I was going to go to law school at one point, and it's probably what I'd be doing, and not very happy about it.
Yeah, I think he's done a lot of really good things for women, which is a cause that's near and dear to my heart. He feels very strongly about surrounding himself with a great team and having a variety of people to make up that team.
First of all, David is an exceptional listener. And he just doesn't listen to listen. He listens to really understand and really understand what motivates you. And he is one of the most accepting people. He kind of is one of those people who plays to your strengths.
Dave has always been a passionate industry advocate, generous with his time and talent. His contributions are countless. He truly doesn't know how to say no. He has and continues to serve on numerous boards and foundations, from DI, USTA, and others. He will soon be chair of the PCMA Education Foundation. He also served as one of the first co-chairs of the Meetings Means Business Coalition and helped the coalition more than double its membership.
The question about what have I learned from each of the roles I've been in, and we don't have enough tape or digital memory to go through all the different roles. One of my good friends joked that I couldn't hold a job, and so I've moved around a lot in the industry, which has, for me, been great. I don't necessarily have ADD, but I probably have a short attention span. And so that variety and movement in my career has been excellent, and it's been the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Each one of the roles that I've had, whether it's been a great experience or a tough experience, has taught me something, whether it's around leadership, around how to treat people, around not taking a job for money. That was a good lesson at one point in my career where I jumped at an opportunity because of the financial reward, and it was not the right fit. It was not an authentic fit. So I think the most important thing is be willing to take a risk, be willing to walk through that door that opens, but then realize that not everything is going to be, unicorns and lollipops. It's probably going to have some challenges, and you got to learn from it.
Dave wholeheartedly and ardently supports the business events community and their value across industries. Through his dedication and lifelong support of the business events profession, Dave is so deserving of this honor.
He doesn't have to be a jerk to get things done. He does it in a really kind way. And I think between that and the fact that he has selflessly given so much to our industry, people are going to remember him for a very long time.
Being inducted into the Hall of Leaders is pretty surprising and humbling. You know, people in my career like Bruce Harris or Mickey Schaefer, and if I risk saying names, I'm going to forget 1,000 of them, but those kind of individuals that I see are really iconic members of our industry. It's hard to put yourself in the same category. So I think it's truly an honor. Hopefully it's a recognition, not necessarily of me, but of the many roles that I've been in, the collaboration I've been able to have with incredible leaders, incredible members of this industry, and I think that was what I take as this is a recognition of all of that work in collaboration with others, not necessarily just about me, and because a career is not built by the individual, it's built through collaboration with everyone that you come in contact with.
One of his passions is human trafficking, and he's done a tremendous amount of work in that area. He wants to make sure that our industry is front and center in doing everything we can to put a stop to that. I can't think of anybody who's more deserving. And part of that is because he does things well. He does them very selflessly. He thinks about others first and foremost. And he's the guy that is always willing to make the hard decision, take the hard step, go to the next level. And you know, when you think about people who are risk takers, I think those are the kind of people that deserve to be in the Hall of Leaders.
I think David is deserving of this award at this moment of his life because I think it's not only his legacy, you know, that perhaps has brought him to this point of recognition, but I think at this time it's an important motivator for him because he has still a lot to contribute to the industry. He is not done by any means. And I think for people who, like David, that have accomplished so much, it's a really important motivator to have these leaders kind of continue to excel and continue to bring to us the right thinking, the right ideas that will inspire the rest of us to also make a contribution.
I really want to thank David for all he's done to grow the Meetings Mean Business Coalition and make meetings and events really critical, not only to our industry, but to our government and to our economy.
The induction to Hall of Leaders, again, it's a very humbling experience, but I think what I would want to share, because 30 years ago when I was starting my career, sitting in the room and seeing others recognized, you wonder whether you're ever going to get there. And so I think the message I would say is everyone is a leader. Everyone is capable of achieving whatever their goals and dreams are. And you just got to be diligent about pursuing them. Get after it. Don't sit back. Don't play it safe. Take some risks. And you know, hopefully at some point in that individual's career, they'll be able to have a similar recognition because it's a very great honor and one I don't take lightly.
Congratulations, my friend.